Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about why you're struggling to overcome the fear of driving. Many times people come to me, and I hear this pretty much every day, and people say, well, I've got this driving anxiety, but I don't understand it because I've had it for ages and I've done all these things like CBT and counselling, and I've just tried and done everything and nothing works. Let me explain why that is. It's the same thing I've said in other videos, but I have to keep reinforcing this point because it's so vital. Driving isn't the problem, and I keep telling people this, and some people won't listen, and they say, you're wrong, it's got to be to do with driving, because I know it's driving, because when I drive I feel anxious. Yes, when you drive you feel anxious. That doesn't mean that's what's causing the problem, okay? You're working on the wrong thing. You're dealing with the wrong thing. If you're talking to someone with counselling or CBT and they just keep asking you, how do you feel when you drive? Have you ever been in a crash? Tell me about this crash you were in years ago. Tell me about this incident where you was in this road rage attack. It's nonsense. It's got nothing to do with that. Here's what we do. When you do it professionally and you know what you're doing, you only mention those things to bring up the feelings, okay? I will ask someone something like, can you tell me about a time when you were in this attack or when you was in this problem? It's going to signal to tell this car I'm going to pull over. It's quite a narrow road, as you can tell. And I say thanks. So, people will ask you things like, yeah, I might ask you, can you tell me about a time you were in a crash, or can you tell me about a time you had a problem? I don't do that because I want you to talk about that problem. It's because I want the feelings that you attach to that problem to come up, okay? It's not the actual crash, the attack, the whatever, that situation back there where I met the car coming the other way. I've been in a car with people who would have panicked there and thought, well, I've got to reverse and I can't reverse and I don't know what to do, I don't know where to pull over. It's not the event that causes the problem, it's the feeling behind that event. Your mind locks that feeling into an association with driving. So it's not the event that you're bothered about, it's the feeling and the emotion attached to it. That's how you get rid of the problem. It's not quite a spooky kind of haunted house there. It's just coming up to Halloween as I film this. So yeah, that's why you can't get rid of it, because you're focusing on the event, and it's not the event, it's the emotion, it's the feeling, it's the experience behind the event, not the event itself. So that's where many people go wrong, and to make sure I don't go wrong, I'm just going to watch where I'm going. I'll go this way. So I don't know where I am. And some people have a fear of driving in areas they don't know. They think, well, I don't know where I am at all, and they panic. That's the thing. It's not knowing where you are. It's not the unfamiliar road that's the problem. It's the panic you link with it. So you need to find where that panic comes from and release that feeling. It's nothing to do with this. And I'll give you a good example. Somebody left a comment on a video I made the other day, and they said, you're completely wrong when you say it's not to do with driving. It has to be to do with driving, because I was in 2 crashes when I had my baby in the car and it's totally put me off driving. So you're completely wrong because it's the driving that put me off. Can you think of what it was that put them off driving? It's nothing to do with the driving. Can you think what it was that made that person scared to drive? It was the baby. Their fear of hurting their baby. That's the problem. If you focus on that feeling and release that emotion, the feeling will go. Because you see, their mind was thinking, every time they drive a car, their baby's going to get hurt. Nothing to do with driving. The driving wasn't the issue. The issue was the thought of their baby being hurt. And he had linked that with driving, which is nothing to do with the driving. It's just your mind grabs something and he thinks, you've got a fear of your baby being hurt, so I know I'm going to shove that onto driving. When you drive, I'll put it on that. It's nothing to do with that at all. Okay, if that person had gone on a train, for example, just after they'd had that experience, You could have latched on to a fear of trains, which is a real thing. So it's never, ever, 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 ever anything to do with driving. Driving is how the problem shows up. It's not the problem itself. And if you ever go to a therapist and they start talking about, it's because you were driving and because of this and that, it's not. That's why you can't get rid of it, because you're working on the wrong thing. And if you don't believe me, well, that's fine. You can keep banging your head against the wall for year after year after year, and then eventually one thing will happen, is that you'll realise he was right. It's nothing to do with driving. But the more you think that driving anxiety has something to do with driving, the harder and harder it will be to get rid of it. So check out the links around this video if you want to book a free call with me to work on your fear of driving. We won't work on it on that call, we'll just have a chat about it, and I'll see how I can help you. So thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.